Hello and welcome to the next session of UK Migration Pro. We are live from London and we welcome our viewers and listeners, those who are live watching us right now, and those who will view these sessions later on. So, once again, welcome to the session. UK Migration Pro, this session is scheduled for two, three things. Starting with the layout, let me talk about initially I will give introduction about the UK Migration Pro, and then I will talk about some latest news from UK immigration, and then we will talk about something sponsor license for startups and UK expansion worker visa related cases. And we will also welcome our participants to join us and ask us questions. And so there will be a number of things today. We will have definitely accept phone calls. We will accept the questions, live question and answers as well. And also we would like to provide as much information as possible. So let's start with initial information or introduction of UK Migration Pro. UK Migration Pro is London-based initiative in which selected UK-based, UK-regulated, UK-registered, UK immigration advisors have been grouped with the objective of providing them professional support among themselves. So one advisor, if he has got any professional issue, they can talk to other professional advisors within the group. All of these immigration advisors are registered and regulated in England, and their registration and license and permission is to handle UK immigration cases. So this group is initially on one side to help professional advisors, immigration advisors, number one. On the other and more important side of the thing is that locally, nationally, or internationally, those potential clients who intend to secure any kind of information, advice, or handle are interested in any way or form in UK immigration, they can talk to UK Migration Pro, and within UK Migration Pro, you will find a registered, regulated immigration advisor who will respond to your queries, answer to your questions, and if you assign them UK immigration related any application work or any other work, they will handle it for you. So they are professionals. They are very experienced, and they are very talented and skilled. So any potential client based anywhere in the world can approach UK Migration Pro. It's very simple how to contact. Just go to our website www.ukmigration.pro, complete the form, submit. UK Migration Pro will receive your completed form, and it will be as a professional advisor will pick up this form, and they will do their best to respond to your queries or answer to your questions. Now, on our website, that is www.ukmigration.pro, we have listed names of the group members who are essentially the registered immigration advisors. We have placed photographs of some of the advisors and their details as well. And there are a lot more whose details are not on the website at this point of time. So you can click on any name of the advisor, check their dedicated web page showing their image or photo, and highlights the areas of their specializations and also their contact details. If for any reason you can't contact them using their details, there is a form at the bottom of every page, and you can complete the form and submit this, and the relevant immigration advisor, if your query is related and relevant to them, then they will accept, they will respond to you. So this is how we work. The purpose of the group is to provide people in UK and outside the UK who are interested in UK immigration authentic information, reliable information on one side, and professional advisors on the other side. So you can contact UK Migration Pro for any relevant updated information about UK immigration, and also seek advice or assign any UK immigration related work to the group members of UK Migration Pro. So this is an initial introduction. You can check our website www.ukmigration.pro as well. Now let's, in next session, I would like to highlight some of the latest news that what's happening in the UK. I remind my listeners and viewers that we provide the information only from reliable sources. And in this case, the reliable source is the British government itself. Within the British government, the relevant department is United Kingdom Visa and Immigration. So UKVI, and we are providing you the information, all these latest updates from their website. So on 18th of October, that is today, the British government has announced EU settlement scheme, that the caption of the their updated release is EU settlement scheme, community support for vulnerable citizens. I repeat, the caption is EU settlement scheme, community support for vulnerable citizens. And this is about organizations funded to provide support to vulnerable and at-risk EU citizens applying to the EU settlement scheme. So this is updated today, 18th of October. Interested listeners and viewers and advisors can check this from the UKVI website. Another update is about UK visa requirements, and the government has provided a list of carriers, information for international carriers about visa requirements for passengers traveling to the UK. So this is information is for carriers who are carrying the passengers traveling to the UK. Then yesterday on 17th of October, the register of licensed sponsors for workers was updated. So if you want to know which employer is on this register, or for that matter, which employer is authorized to recruit overseas nationals, you can check this register. This is an updated register. Then this is the register of licensed sponsors for students. This is also updated yesterday on 17th. And then on 17th, country policy and information notes about Iraq. That is a guidance used by UK Visa and Immigration to make decisions in asylum and human rights applications. Then on same 17th October, the country policy and information notes for Somalia were updated. Then on same 17th October, country policy and information notes about Zimbabwe was updated. Country returns guidance on returning immigration offenders to their country of origin was updated yesterday on 17th of October. And then you can continue to check the previous updates about English and Ukraine visa and other China and other asylum applications. So there are so many updates prior to 17th of October, that was yesterday. So now let's come to the session where we will talk about sponsor license. I understand that any employer who intends to recruit overseas nationals, they need to have a sponsor license from authorities in the United Kingdom. Broadly, sponsor license is a permission from the UK authorities to the business in UK to recruit overseas nationals. Obviously, in this session, I can just highlight in general terms. For any details, further details, you can always check the relevant guidance from reliable and authentic sources. And also, you can contact us for further information or further details about whatever the information we are providing. So we remind that always go back to the original source of the information, which is United Kingdom Visa and Immigration. Check their website, check all the guidance yourself, and make sure that you have the correct information and that you have updated information. Now, so the sponsor license is granted to different types of organizations. One type of the organization is startup businesses which are starting in the UK. For sponsor license purposes, the startup is up to a period from today, from the date of application, to 18 months backwards. So within this 18 months, whichever business has been incorporated in the UK for sponsor license purposes, they will be considered as startup business. And startup business, the authorities understand that when a business is at very initial stage of its launch, it's set up and then launch. So it takes time to run the business, grow the business, and expand the business. Essentially, the requirements which are applicable to any large business or ongoing business for years, or any expanding business or any growing business, will definitely be different from the startup business. So there is a kind of leniency in when application for startup is submitted for when application for sponsor license is submitted for startup businesses. I will highlight broad documents which are required to be submitted with the sponsor license application. There are many documents, but I will just highlight for introduction purposes. I remind, you can check this guidance. This guidance is called Temporary Workers and Students Guidance for Sponsors. And this is called Appendix A, Supporting Documents for Sponsor License Applications. At this point of time, I'm referring the version 06/22. please, when you want to gather the further information or you intend to act, please check UKVI website and check the updated and latest guidance. So for startup, I remind any business which has started during 18 months, last 18 months, for sponsor license application, it is construed as startup business. So basically, among others, 4 documents are required to be submitted with the application. They can vary in different scenarios. So I have picked those 4 documents which I believe that most of the businesses will be able to line up to substantiate their sponsor license application. So number 1 document is their bank letter. A bank letter, the business will obtain a bank letter from their bank. The letter should talk about the dealings it has had with the bank, including the nature and duration of those dealings. So we need a bank letter which will, among other things, highlight this point: a letter from your corporate banking provider setting out the dealings it has had with you, including the nature and duration of those dealings. So this is the bank letter. So when you have started the business, you may have opened the bank account, and you have opened the bank account. There may be not many transactions in it, but you can still request your bank to provide you a bank letter. Then definitely you will have, when you register a company, you are always instantly linked to the HMRC records as well. So HMRC also registers you for tax purposes. So definitely they issue, or if they have not issued, you can contact HMRC for a document which gives you the accounts office reference number. You can contact HMRC for registration as PAYE. You need the PAYE registration document. Then you can request HMRC, you can register yourself for, if you are registering for self-employment purposes, you need to have registration of UTR number from HMRC. You can request them. You need to have this number. Then you can go for VAT registration. So VAT registration is compulsory when you meet a given threshold. If you have not met that threshold, but you anticipate that within 12 months you will be able to reach to that threshold, so you can now go for voluntary registration for VAT purposes. If you secure registration for VAT purposes, you can submit this VAT registration document for sponsor license purposes. Then you can have, if you have tax return, if you have tax return notice, that is CT 600, CT 603, or CT 620. So there are different further documents. So initially, I have just highlighted for your information purpose that a business which is a startup, they can also instantly go for a sponsor license application. But before that, to substantiate with the application, you need to secure few documents from bank, HMRC, all those documents. and you can attach those documents to support your application. Now, I want to talk about a sponsor license, which is required by a branch which is coming from abroad. So again, I'm referring the same document. This document is Workers, Temporary Workers and Students Guidance for Sponsors, Appendix A, Supporting Documents for Sponsor License Applications, and the version is 0622. So whenever you intend to, specifically about UK immigration, whenever you intend to know anything or act in respect of UK immigration related matters, always check the government website, that is UK Visa and Immigration Authority. This is the UK based British government's Visa and Immigration Authority. Check their website for latest and updated information to gather what is the relevant information now, what you are supposed to do, what are the compliance requirements, whatever information you intend to gather, you need to check latest and updated information from UKVI website. So I will highlight certain documents which are required to be submitted to support the sponsor license application. So number one, again, as I previously said, that there are so many documents required to be submitted. A great detail is given in the document, but I'm highlighting just few to give you a overview of what type of documents you need if you are coming from abroad, if your principal business or parent business is based outside the UK and you are coming and you are opening a branch in the UK. So the branch is applying for a sponsor license, and what documents the branch needs to substantiate or support their sponsor license application. So I will just highlight, and the complete list of the document is in the same document I have already informed about. So basically, there are three categories of the documents which are required. Number one is proof of UK footprint. Number two, evidence of your overseas trading presence. Number three, evidence of your planned expansion to the UK. So broadly, all the documents are basically, this is the basis on which you need to have the documents to apply for a sponsor license for a branch. So I will just highlight documents. Number one is company house number. I'm sure most of you would be aware of this. If you don't, you can check the relevant information, or you can contact UK Migration Pro, and we will be able to help you in this explanation that what is what. So number one information you need is to have the company house number. Number two, bank statements, 12 recent months. We are talking about company house number of the branch in the UK, and we are talking about bank statements of the parent company outside the UK. Because initially the branch may not have started or commenced operations, or they may not have started the business, so they may not have all these documents. So in this case, company house number of the branch in UK and bank statements of the parent company outside the UK. We need their 12-month recent from the date of application to prior 12 months, bank statements of the parent company, or they can submit annual accounts or accounts of last 12 months, recently completed 12 months. We are talking about not year, but based on months, 12 months. So from January to December, this is 1 year. But here we are talking about whenever you are submitting the application, working back to 12 months. So from this application backward 12 months, we need accounts for that period. From the parent company, we need contracts for goods and service, whatever their business, maybe they're selling products or providing services, whatever their business may be. So we need to you submit basically these documents to substantiate and support the sponsor license application, contracts of goods and services for the last 12 months. For the last 12 months. So they may have entered into contracts with their suppliers or their customers, or during last 12 months, their invoices, their purchase bills, their advertising, their premises, tenancy agreement or ownership of the premises. So it can be your contracts for goods and services. Basically, this is talking about the turnover or revenue side of the things. So contract with the customers for goods and services. Those documents, ideally, they can be one document per month. So 12 documents. Per month means all last 12 months. Per documents, contract with one customer or client, not essentially all the 12 documents with just one client. So it should be different clients, different months. Focus on covering all months instead of using 1 month and sending more contracts for the done with the clients. So contracts for goods and services for last 12 months. And then as you understand that the parent business must be operating for a period not less than 3 years. So we need to submit either annual accounts of the business for last 3 years or bank statements covering the 3 years if the business started 3 years back. So we need the bank statements of that period, the 12 months from the start of the business. If the business started for many years back, just focus on 3 years. And you can also provide contracts for goods and services for 12 months at the start of the business. Again, in this case, 3 years. So we need the contracts for goods and services for the last 12 months and for the 12 months at the start of the business, if we presume it was started in 3 years, but we are talking just about 3 years. So initial 12 months for at the start of the 3 years period, and 12 months documents for the last 3 years. So basically, this is an overview of the types of the documents you need to have and submit with the application. Essentially, as I suggested, that you need the evidence of your planned expansion to the UK. So for this, you need funds. Which funds? The funds of the parent company to prove that they have sufficient funds to fund the business for the first initial 12 months. So How to prove that? You submit bank statements, bank letters, all whatever is can prove or substantiate that you have the money. Now the question arises, how do you know how much money you need to run the first initial 12 months of operations in the UK? So for this purpose, you need to have a fully structured business plan and financial projections. When you have business plan and financial projections, you become aware of the amount of investment to be made in the first initial 12 months of the launch in UK. So you need to have business plan and financial projection, and then you will be aware of the figure that will be required to run the operations during first 12 months, and that amount must be you must have back in the bank statements of the parent company. And to substantiate that, you need to provide the banking documents and other documents to prove that you have the requisite amount to fund whenever the business will be launched in the UK. And among other documents, they need expansion plan. They want to talk about, they want to see what is your expansion plan, how you want to expand, why you want to expand, all those kind of the things. Before wrapping up this session, I would like to highlight one of the very important aspect of this sponsor license application. And I remind that I'm talking about a sponsor license application related to the branch of the parent company based outside the UK, and who is supposed to send their employee on the first employee on UK expansion worker visa. So I'm just talking about that. So in this case, one of the requirements is that if the business plan, financial projection, those services were obtained from a dedicated service provider like business consultants or management consultants, you need to provide their information as well. Let me quickly read through. This says, where market research was outsourced to a specialist company, you must also include certified copies of the contract or agreement for that piece of work with the third party. I remind that the market research is the essential part of the business plan. So whoever has conducted the market research for you in the UK, you need to provide a certified copy of the contract or agreement for that piece of work with the third party. There are further requirements as well, and for each requirement there are further details as well. My objective is just to highlight or give an overview of what type of information do we need. So I remind that my listeners and viewers who are currently watching me or listening me, or those who will watch these videos any point in time in future, they should check the Home Office website, that is UKVI, and on their website you will find workers, temporary workers, students, guidance for sponsors, Appendix A, supporting documents for sponsor license applications, and I am referring the document that is the version 06/22. So please check the updated and latest information. That basically wraps up today's session about sponsor license. And now I would like to let our viewers know that for any further assistance in this respect, you can by all means contact UK Migration Pro, and interested our group member would definitely come back to you, take your query, and if they consider, they will they will respond to you. If you want to assign the work to them, They will give you complete guidance, and they will, if the case is suitable to process, they will handle your work as well. So I remind, our website is www.ukmigration.pro. I now take to the next segment of the session, and I would now invite some of our viewers live to talk to me, and they may have questions. If I am able to, I will respond to their questions, or if I am unable to answer, then I will refer the query to group members of UK Migration Pro, and definitely a professional, a group member will be able to respond to those queries. So now I welcome to our first caller, and I request them to join me and introduce themselves. And please.
For the webinar, you have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
I welcome Anna.
Be able to apply for a visa.
Anna, can you please mute your mic, your speaker, because my voice is coming back to me. So Anna, you are live. Hello, Anna.
I specialize in I'm immigration advisor OIC level 1, and I specialize in visa and immigration services related to educational sector. Pretty much everything what relates to study and work in the UK, if you're a student or if you're a professional in educational sector. What we cover short-term, long-term study visas, including visitor visas, and also visa and immigration opportunities for graduates, including graduate visa, high potential of individual visa, and possibilities to stay after graduation, such as skilled worker visa or potential startup visa. Also, everything for all types of visas, short-term, long-term worker visa for educational professionals, whether you're a teacher, academic, or personnel in educational organization. Ultimately, we also cover long-term, a long residence opportunity for students. It's very tricky to do, but this is what we cover as well for students. This is pretty much a short brief of what I specialize in. Additionally, I run a relocation company where we provide full relocation services, including property search and for school university placements. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Anna, for your introduction. And I reckon that you cover a wide spectrum of the UK immigration categories. And one of a big chapter in the UK immigration is education related visas. And I'm really inspired by what you have just talked about. And I am very pleased to introduce you to the wider viewers. And because you see, you provide end-to-end service. And what I mean by end-to-end service is providing initial information and guidance to the potential students.
Potential students and existing students who are already in the UK.
And also those students who are already in the UK.
Yes.
And then you suggest them the employment opportunities.
Absolutely.
And handle their migration from student visa to,
yes.
Yeah, please carry on.
opportunities to switch from student visa to any other type of visa, what is more relevant to this or that particular individual. Depends on their goals and ambitions.
So every student have their own choices that
Absolutely.
after completing their education, what they want to do. Some want to go for a specific employment instantly. So Anna can handle the skilled worker visa or
I'm
care
your
worker.
man.
Sorry, carry on, please.
Yes, absolutely. It depends on if individual circumstances. For everyone's got, as I said, different goals and ambitions. Some people want to stay here just for a while, for example, graduate visa, and figure out what they do, or what they want to do in the future. However, some people see themselves in the UK for a long term, and then in this case, we can suggest different routes. It depends. Everyone knows if among this audience how it works. It's just purely based on individual ambitions and plans. But
So
this is what we can provide.
yeah, thank you. So what basically our listeners and viewers are group members of UK Migration Pro who are already OISC registered advisors, as well as those potential clients who are watching this video right now, or they will watch later on. They are maybe based in UK or outside the UK. So to make them understand a bit further, what Anna is talking about is that she will be able to guide based on whatever the requirements of the student is, and based on that she will transit him or her to graduate visa or to skilled worker visa or care worker visa or healthcare worker visa or education visa, whatever the relevant choices of the student may be. Yes, please carry on.
Absolutely. But as I said in my introduction, it's not just only about students. There is a big gap and there is huge, massive demand in teachers in the UK. And there are lots of educational organizations who would like to hire overseas professionals in this particular sector, whether it's a teacher or visiting academic for lecturing, for providing lectures at the universities, for whatever it is, we cover it as well.
So this is one of the most important information that Anna has just provided, that there is a huge shortage in education sector in the United Kingdom. And there are educational institutions and employers who are ready to recruit professionally trained, qualified, and competent people from within the UK or outside the UK.
Absolutely.
So for that reason, our listeners and viewers can contact Anna for any further assistance as well.
I'll be pleased and privileged to help anyone out to
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Now I would like Anna to Anna, what is, if I may, what is your first language?
First language is Russian.
Russian. So
but I've been in the UK for 18 years. I made my own journey from abroad to the UK. I was born and raised in Latvia. So I know myself how difficult it might be to relocate to a different country. I've gone through this experience myself. I've been, I'm British citizen for over 10 years. So I know this route as well, how to settle in the UK, how to become British citizen. This is another part of what I can help for my clients with. In terms of my background, generally, I've got education in higher education in English language and history of arts. My second education is in business and management. I've got master's degree and I've got an MBA as well. So in general, I've got a very good knowledge and understanding how the world works.
In fact, Anna, let me give you one important tip, that those immigration advisors with knowledge of business and management qualifications or experience in the sphere of business and management, they can give a bigger
Picture and
picture and give bigger insight of different immigration categories in the UK.
absolutely.
So I clearly see that your qualification in business and management gives you a strong base, stepping stone for you to provide excellent immigration services to the potential clients. Now, I would now invite you, rather give you an opportunity. I will really appreciate if you avail this, is to speak in your own native languages, whatever native languages you know, because this video would definitely be seen by people who are from that part of the world where you are originally from. They may be within the UK or they may still be outside the UK. So it's very important that you should tell them in your own language whatever you want to talk about. I would request you to talk about UK Migration Pro as well, so that they understand what this platform is all about. So your time starts now, please.
Добрый день, меня зовут Анна Боярова, я предоставляю услуги по всем вопросам иммиграции, виза и иммиграции в Великобританию. Моя специализация – это иммиграционный совет и оформление виз студенческих, в долгосрочных, краткосрочных языковые курсы, школы, университеты и также рабочие визы, возможности для продолжения пребывания в Великобритании после окончания учебного заведения, все, что касается легального нахождения в Великобритании, вплоть до получения постоянного вида на жительство и, соответственно, гражданства. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы и запросы, буду очень рада помочь. Спасибо. I finished in my introduction in Russian. I hope it was very helpful for the viewers.
Thank you, Anna. So now let's talk about, consider that I'm a total layman, and I mean it, that I don't know anything about education sector in the UK.
I really doubt, but okay.
No, at least we want to benefit. My viewers would like to benefit from your presence in this session. Definitely, I want to help them in a way to get the authentic information from this source.
Sure.
So talk through about the journey for a student who wants to get education in the UK and move to complete the education, secure the qualification, then move to start the graduate visa, then apply for job. Please talk through this process, please.
The first question is not the first question. The most important part in this question is whether that person is native English speaker or not. If that person is not native English speaker, then I would suggest to start with language schools. It's very good route to start. If someone attends language school in the UK, they need visa, short-term visa, visitor visa. Depends on how long they're going to attend the language course, but either way, this is the good place to start. For most of my clients, they fall in love with the UK and they want to continue their education at school in the UK. So then for the most important part to find the right school and ultimately to arrange the right type of visa to study at school. Here it can be two routes for whether they attend day school or boarding school. If students decide to attend day school and they're for the age of under 12, they would have to come with a parent. In this case, a parent would need to arrange a parent or a child visa. If student decide to go to boarding school for its child student visa, they can finish having this visa, they're allowed to stay in the UK until they finish their school education. And then for most of my clients enter UK university. In this case, you can switch from child student visa to general student visa. Where with this visa, students can stay up to the end of their higher education course, and then they've got a choice what to do. If they're not entirely sure what they want to do in their life, there is fantastic visa type, which is a graduate visa. They can switch to a graduate visa and stay in the UK for another 2 years until they figure out what they want to do. If they want to start their own business in the UK, there is great potential in the UK to run own business. In this case, the best route would be startup visa. However, not everyone has got entrepreneurial skills. In this case, I would suggest to look at skilled worker visa. Depends on what for their specialty at the university was. This is a general idea how we recommend to look at their long plans in the UK. The golden rules, most of people, they want to settle in the UK. In this case, it is very, very important to start planning their settlements pretty much from the day one when they get their child student visa, because there are some restrictions on how many days they can be outside the UK. So it involves thorough planning in terms of holidays over the 10 years. The rule is students or a person can stay in the UK for 10 years if they meet certain criteria. So it's very difficult, but it's doable, and it involves thorough planning. And we help we look after our clients over 10 years and monitor their absence from the UK. In 10 years' time, they've got perfect opportunity, if all the criteria is met, to apply for settlement and ultimately later on to apply for British citizenship. This is a rough idea, brief idea, how people can look at for how to become a permanent resident or British citizenship through educational route. But this is one of the routes. Some students, some clients, they prefer to finish to obtain their education, secondary education in their own country, which is absolutely fine. For these people, we would recommend to start foundation course in the UK, and then you can extend after successful for completion of foundation course. You can extend student visa and apply for general student visa to stay in the UK for another course of their higher education. Later on, again, the same routes are available, either graduate or skilled worker. And if they go towards these routes, it might be a longer period of time, but basically the rule is the same. If their goal to settle or in the UK, it's 10 years rule. Again, the same for principle of the main criteria has to be met, and the main criteria in this case is absence from how many days a person is absent from the UK. So this is general, absolutely general piece of advice how we talk to our clients. These are the routes available at the moment. Immigration law is changing very often, as we know, is the most changing part of legislation in the UK. So some things might change in the future, but at the moment, this is general advice.
Thank you, Anna, giving insight into this journey for a student to go all the way through to employment. Now, I would request you to talk about precise services that you can provide to potential client, given the journey you have just described.
We obviously we start with for initial consultation, which is absolutely free of charge, to understand goals and ambitions and plans of an individual or a family. Second part, if someone when someone makes their plans or can summarize the general plans for the future, then we start with type of visa. If it's a language school, then we help to arrange of short-term visitor visa for a language school. If it's a school, entering a school, then we can arrange for a child student visa or parent of a child visa, or both. And at the same time, we can assist with finding the right school, because of the most important part of that type of visa, child visa, student visa application, is to get it's called CAS number, which is a sponsorship number from educational organization, whether it's school, college, or university. So we can help with visa type, visa application. We handle everything from A to Z. We can help to submit the application, look through all supporting documents what are required for this or that type of visa. And we can submit application on behalf of the client. We charge only success fees, only upon for the client when the client gets the visa. In terms of post visa services, we monitor for the expiry date and also we handle, like I mentioned before, absence time from the UK, which is another additional service. But our clients, they find it very useful, because sometimes I need to go on holidays and I book the flights, and clients forget about how to plan it. And then 2 years later, they completely forget how many days they were away from the UK. So what we do with for additional fee, we just monitor for the presence and absence in the UK. So if an individual wants to stay in the UK after their student visa, let's say if we're talking about student visas, then we help, we remind them about when their visa is due to expire, because again, it's a very important thing not to miss the deadlines for extension. And we help to either extend or switch to another type of visa. The same services can be provided, application, filling application, for checking all supporting documents and applying on behalf of the client, including handling or payments of all the related payments to Home Office, visa fees, immigration health charge, so on and so forth. So this is what we can do. Again, if a client cannot decide on what university to go, our team can provide further education advice and advice on for university and particular course. If a family, a student move to the UK, we can also we can find the right place where to live, for right property, which is very challenging. This year, many students who came to universities from abroad, they had massive challenge like never before to find student accommodation. This year it's gone absolutely mad in terms of demand and student accommodations. We've got a very good network of for university halls providers, and also we can source privately rented accommodation. We know, because we've been in business for over 10 years, we know all the rules of how to rent the place in the UK for someone who is coming to the UK from abroad, because there are some challenges, and people have to be prepared for these challenges. So this is another thing what we can do for our clients, and we are very happy to support on every single step of their journey. Sorry, I can't, Amit, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I
Yes,
am saying
okay.
thank you, Anna, for giving this information. If I request you to say a few things about whatever you have just described, the journey of the student to employment, and also your precise services you have just described, can you repeat them in your own first language, please? Is it possible for you?
If it might be, yeah, absolutely, it's possible, but it might be a little bit long speech in foreign language. But I'll try to do my best to summarize. Let's say in bullet points in my
Thank
own
you.
language.
Thank you.
Дорогие друзья, я хотела бы более детально представить наши услуги, описать наши услуги. Если кто-то собирается, планирует приехать в Великобританию с целью обучения, то есть это либо языковые курсы, либо школа, университет, мы можем помочь во всех вопросах, касающихся не только визы и иммиграции, но также мы можем найти правильный языковой курс, мы можем найти правильную школу и правильный курс в университете для вашего ребенка. Также мы можем, если студент приезжает в Великобританию и требуются апартаменты, студенческое общежитие, мы можем помочь с нахождением апартаментов, студенческих апартаментов. При этом все этапы нахождения в Великобритании мы с удовольствием будем отслеживать для вас, для того, чтобы вы не пропустили случайно окончание вашей визы. Если вы хотите продлить визу, то время истечения срока визы очень-очень важный момент, его нельзя пропустить для того, чтобы попадать на продление. Также, если в планах получить постоянный вид на жительство в Великобритании, очень важный момент – это высчитывать, сколько дней человек находится вне Великобритании, то есть в поездке в отпуск, на каникулы и так далее. И мы можем предоставить эту услугу отслеживания отсутствия количества дней в течение 10 лет или в течение нахождения в Великобритании для вас. То есть полный спектр услуг от А до Я, от первого знакомства с Великобританией до становления гражданином Великобритании. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna, for this information in your first language. I request you to just be in the studio for the time being.
Sure.
We have another guest in this session, Suman. Suman, may I invite you and request you to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Saman. We were dealing with Ahmed Bhai for last a couple of months for the work permit for my brother-in-law. Touch with the service which we get from Ahmed Bhai and his company, it was amazing, and it was very reliable. And we are still in a process, so we are hoping our best. My brother-in-law, he will switch on the work permit visa. I highly recommend everyone who have any fear or any doubt, please discuss with Ahmed Saab directly, and he will escalate it whatever the issues you think. Before you start anywhere, is always better just assess the market, and you can discuss with further more solicitors in the market who are available. So at least you have your minds up. Okay, how much the people are charging, the pricing, what this company is charging is amazing, is the right price for the work. And so far I have a very good experience, and I highly recommend everyone, please consider. And if you are interested for any kind of work permit or student visa or any kind of settlement visa, just discuss, and he will find a route for you basically.
Basically, Suman, thank you for your kind words. Basically, I never invited my clients to join me here or promote me here. This was not completely intended. I thought that he is going to ask a question, but he started talking about me. So please don't get me wrong. I never intended to promote myself here in this session. This is Anna's sessions.
Which is true.
So, Suman, you are welcome to ask Anna any question if you like.
I don't need to ask anything. So far, my process is going very smooth. So I don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Suman. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your nice words. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. Just before anything else, let me remind that our first language is Urdu, and this language is widely known in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Middle East countries, and all people who have migrated from those countries to UK, to America, and other parts of the world. So this Urdu is widely known by the people. So Suman, the previous caller, he said few words which were in Urdu. So, in short, he was referring to my name. My name is Ahmed Abdul Azim. Thank you for that kind words, Suman. Now I invite our next caller, Chet. Chet, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Ajay. Could you able to hear me?
Yes, please go on. Yes, please go on.
No, I just joined this session as a trainee of yourself because I was trying to join you. um, Instead, I thought it would be a good idea to join here to understand a bit more about the session.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have another guest with the name of Asif Hashmi. You have not probably connected with the mic and camera, so I can't rather this software does not allow to add any participant if they are not connected to mic or camera. So if you can quickly connect yourself, then we will be very pleased to add you in the session, in this live session. If any other guests want to join us and ask any question about UK immigration, so they are most welcome. We have very talented, very experienced, seasoned professional immigration advisor. Her name is Anna Boyarova, if I have correctly pronounced your name. In the meantime, I would like to request Anna to give us a bit further insight into few other aspects of the UK immigration. I will really appreciate. Yes, go on, Anna.
Sorry, can you please rephrase your question again?
Okay. My objective is to benefit when you are in this session to give other information about whatever services you provide. Give that information for our viewers and listeners, please.
In addition to what I have already said about our services, I would like to mention another part of services we cover. I'm not entirely sure whether it's right for this audience, but I would like to mention it for purpose of information. And it is support support with sponsor licenses for educational organizations who already got status or as a sponsor, or they're planning to get sponsorship license. We provide all the advice for how to apply for a sponsor license, and also we help with sponsor license application, as well as audit support, because every sponsor they've got no responsibility to report to for Home Office, but they've they have to go through regular audits, and this is what we help organization or for educational organizations with as well. So it's not the biggest part of our services, but as I said, for everything what is related to educational sector in the UK, we cover everything. Is it helpful?
Yeah, that is helpful, really. So kind of you. So I reckon that you also handle sponsor license applications for clients as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's very good. So can you give some insight into how a business with their head office based outside the UK can open a branch in the UK, and what are the broad steps in this, and how they can send their employees to work for them in the UK? Will it be okay with you to talk about this?
It's not exactly my field.
Okay.
I've got my more experienced colleague who deal with it. All what we do, again, it's probably not exactly what we focus on. Yes, as I said, for our clients, it's all of educational organizations, and to be honest, we didn't have any schools or any universities who would like to open branch in the UK. So normally, if there's a UK-based companies, firms, or organizations. But as I said before, some schools, for UK schools, universities, they hire it's great demand and they need to hire overseas workers. So this is what we can definitely look at and help with skilled worker for overseas clients, or if UK established for educational organizations need some help with their audit and sponsorship license, this is what we can help. But in terms of opening branches in the UK, it's not exactly what we cover at the moment, because we've got very, very specific niche for specialization at the moment.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for answering my question. Now we have another participant in the session. It is Mr. Asif Hashmi. I would welcome Asif to the session. Would you please ask any question from Anna?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Yeah. Are you listening me properly?
Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am, can you please just tell me, are you providing COS certificate of sponsorship to get a skilled worker visa? Any services, such services, are you available at your side or not? If anyone interested to apply for a skilled worker visa in the UK, na? And
Yes, absolutely. We cover a skilled worker visa in the UK. If someone wants to come to the UK to work, as you know, they need to obtain a skilled worker visa, and there are three step process. First of all, the applicant needs to find the employer, the right employer, and submit for skilled worker visa application. However, to do that, they need to obtain a certificate of sponsorship. It's another stage of the application. In order to obtain to get a successful visa application or a successful visa. So yes, basically from point of view of the applicants, step number one, to find a job with sponsored with licensed sponsor, obtain certificate of sponsorship, and then to apply for visa. For is it what the question was, or
no, I'm just ma'am.
Yes.
I'm just asking if anyone wants to interested to apply for this visa. Do you have such kind of services?
Absolutely,
So
yes.
that I, on the behalf of Sir Ahmad Abdul Azim, I will share the profile with him. Na? Then he will ask from you whether, according to the profile, can you people arrange something regarding the skilled worker visa, so that we can
Absolutely.
engage the clients in this way.
Yes, absolutely. Skilled worker visa, we've got a great experience, and we can help with obtaining the skilled worker visa. Yes.
Okay. Fine.
I think I need to jump in this discussion to clarify certain aspects. Look, there are different stages in getting a job in the UK and start working in employment in UK. So the first stage is to find an employer. Basically, Anna, do you provide any assistance in finding an employer?
Sadly, no, we cannot. No,
So,
you need to either specialist recruiter,
yeah,
or
this is
you
answer.
need
Sorry,
to,
Anna,
yes,
can I
or
interrupt?
you need to go through
Can I
the
interrupt?
list.
Let
Yes,
me
no.
explain this. Sorry, my objective was to get this answer from you.
Okay.
That look, Anna does not provide recruitment services.
No.
Recruitment services means that you need to secure services from a recruitment company in UK. They will find an employer for an applicant. Now, once they find an employer, then they will find whether that employer has a sponsor license or not. If the sponsor license does not have a sponsor, the employer does not have a sponsor license, then Anna will apply for a sponsor license for the employer. Now, once the employer secures the sponsor license, then Anna will apply for allocation of certificate of sponsorship. This is what Anna will do. Once she secures the allocation of the certificate of sponsorship, then she will assign the certificate of sponsorship in the name of the applicant. Once she assigns the certificate of sponsorship in name of applicant, then she will complete the skilled worker visa application for the client. Once she secures this visa, then the applicant will be able to travel to the UK and join the employment. So there are a number of stages, and I have, though Anna has clearly identified what she does or what services she offers and what she can't or she does not, but I have tried to elaborate it further for and on behalf of Anna. I'm pretty sure I have not fumbled anywhere. So it was correct explanation what you wanted to say.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
I'm sure Asif, yes, carry on please, Anna.
If I may, for individuals who are trying to find work in the UK, my piece of advice would be to look at big companies. It's most likely that they will have sponsor licenses to support for visa application. However, if a business in the UK doesn't have a sponsor license, but they would like to employ someone from abroad, yes, certainly we can assist that business to get a sponsorship license first, and then help them to for their potential employers to come to the UK, for like you, Ahmed said, like you said, for assist with sponsorship, certificate of sponsorship, and ultimately skilled worker. If it makes sense.
Thank you, Anna. I must
I
thank
would,
you.
I would suggest to look at big if there is no employer just yet in the UK. If you haven't found a job yet, then I would suggest to go to focus on bigger organizations, big employers, and also there is a list of sponsored companies who's got sponsorship. It's available on government websites. You can always refer to that list of companies and check whether that this or that company they've got a sponsorship license.
Yeah, no, I think Anna has given you very important tip that before approaching a potential employer, not every employer will give you a job or the applicant a job, even they are suitable for the job, because British businesses cannot recruit overseas nationals unless those businesses have got the sponsor license in first place. So how to check whether a potential employer has got a sponsor license or not? There is a official register available in public domain, as Anna suggested. This is available on UKVI website, and this is regularly updated, rather on sometimes daily basis. So the potential applicants who are seeking a job in the UK, they should always refer this register. And if their potential employer or they are interested to work with or apply with, they need to check whether the name of that potential employer exists on this register. If yes, then you can apply. Otherwise, you should not. Because if they don't have the sponsor license, they will be unable to give you an employment.
Correct.
I think that, thank you, Anna. I think I have made effort to elaborate further what you were suggesting.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you.
Anna, it's really nice talking to you. And I'm pretty sure that our viewers and listeners must have got a really deep insight about the journey a student takes from initial admission to the universities, educational institutions, all the way through to completion of their studies, and then graduate visa, and then job visa, the skilled worker visa, and other opportunities in the education sector and healthcare sector. So I think our listeners and viewers must have got a lot of information about this. Even if any listener or viewer who is currently watching us, or they may watch this video later, they can always contact UK Migration Pro. And Anna Boyarova is part of UK Migration Pro. She is a group member, and she is UK based, UK registered, UK regulated, UK immigration advisor. She is professional. She will provide you authentic information, and she will handle your case professionally. So you can contact UK Migration Pro anytime, and we will be very much pleased to forward your queries, or you can contact her directly anytime. So Anna, I'm so thankful to you for joining us in this session, and I will be looking forward to invite you once again sometimes later. And at that time, we will be talking about another aspect of your specialization in UK immigration. And definitely, I expect that session would also be very useful for our listeners and viewers. Thank you, Anna. Before wrapping up, I would just remind that you are watching this live YouTube session from the platform of the UK Migration Pro. UK Migration Pro is a London-based group of selected UK registered immigration advisors, and we provide help, guidance, assistance, and all services related to UK immigration. Any potential client can visit our website, that is www.ukmigration.pro, and check a list of advisors there who are group members of the group of the UK Migration Pro, and we have provided their contact details as well. If you don't find contact details, there are forms. You can always complete the forms and submit, and relevant advisor, if they choose to, they will contact you directly. Thank you, our listeners, for joining this session this morning today. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, our other participants. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.